Sorry about that. I didn't realize that I had cut off my timing. Oops. What I was saying is that you recognize that the consequences are immediate and they're not something that you can get away from. So it makes it less abstract, more concrete, and you know that in that moment, even if you really want it, you're kind of like, but is it worth losing 5 days? Because it's not like you can't really fool yourself. You can't really pretend. And a lot of the time I think that when you're on like a calorie restrictive diet, with no other real, like, it's not strict like keto, you always say to yourself, well, tomorrow I will make up for this calorie deficit, or I'll run tonight. And then those things never happen. Let's be honest. Those things don't happen. You don't make up the calories. And at the end of the week, you're not in a deficit because you make one after another. The other great thing, though, about keto is that, let's say you really do want pizza. I love pizza. I didn't get this size by mistake. So, I do love all of the, shitty foods that you shouldn't be eating, of course. But now I'm learning how to make those in a way that is conducive to my goals. So there's fathead dough. There is, almond flour doughs that you can make. There are cauliflower doughs that you can make. There is a chicken crust that you can make. I know I've said it before, but Keto Connect is where I get a lot of my recipes. And even though some of their desserts by my standards are like really disgusting, I have kind of a sensitive palate in that sense, because I'm not much of a sweet eater anyway. They do have really great savory recipes, and a lot of their dessert recipes are amazing. They really are. There's just a certain level of, like, I don't know. They have great recipes. They have great information, and I recommend watching their videos and looking at their recipes if there are something that you really, really want, and seeing if you can't find a way to make it keto. You'd be surprised what can be made into keto. Basically everything. You want macaroni and cheese? Cauliflower and cheese. And it tastes the same. Like, it really does. Is there a texture difference? Of course there is. Sacrifices, baby. I mean, there's so many ways to adjust this style of eating for you. So I think that it's very flexible in that manner. And for people who want sweet things, you can still have those sweet things. You just can't have them the way that you're used to having them. Should you be eating them at all? I mean, no. Should we be eating brownies? No. But if you use erythritol or Splenda, or not Splenda, or stevia, which is still but monk fruit sweetener or whatever it is, if you're using a non-insulinogenic sweetener and you're using something like almond flour, you can make a dessert. You can do, there is a way. There is a way. And what it really comes down to is stopping the excuses, which is so hard to do. And stop lying to yourself. That's the big one. People say, take responsibility for yourself and your actions. And I think that it's harder to do when it comes to something like a food addiction, for instance, or, any addiction, really. It's hard to do because you're always going to find a reason to have it. You're always going to find a reason to want it. And it is hard to do. But you need to figure it out. And you need to recognize every single small decision that you make counts. And, you know, the little changes that build up. It sounds so, you know, cliche, but it's so true. And, you know, you wake up in the morning and you want that caramel macchiato. Okay, you're either going to go get a caramel macchiato, which is however many hundreds of calories and sugar. I mean, we don't mind the calories if you're doing it properly, but if it's sugar, what are you doing to your body? You know, and there's a way to have caramel macchiato in a keto fashion. So find it. Find that keto way of doing it. You know, that's the thing. Like, you either follow along with what you've always done and get the same results, or change those actions in that moment. Become aware of what you're doing. Stop living in autopilot. You know, one of my biggest problems was getting coffee in the morning. And I had to make a conscious decision to, first off, I changed what I was getting. I was getting a vanilla latte, normal vanilla latte. And then I had to change it to a regular latte so that I could wean myself off the taste of very sweet coffee. And then I had to say, okay, how can I do this coffee at home without the sugar? Because milk has a lot of carbohydrates in it. Cream doesn't, but milk does. So I had to go, okay, well, why do I really want that cream in my coffee? And the truth is, I don't like the taste of coffee very much. But I love the taste of it as an accent flavor. That's why I like coffee. I like coffee as a strong accent flavor. So if I want it as part of, if I really want the cream, if I really want the sugar, then what I need to do is find a keto way to make that at home. And that's what I've done, because I hate bulletproof coffee. So, you know, that was something that took time, though. It took me a couple of weeks, honestly, to go from vanilla latte to normal latte and adjust to that, and then go from normal latte to home keto latte, or latte, but not really a latte, not a latte, coffee and cream, coffee and heavy cream. So, and I'm doing great, and it's part of my, you know, fat warning that I'm trying to get in, you know, now it's a good thing. So it's just those weird habits, you know. It's like when you quit smoking and, you know, you try to stop smoking in the car when you're driving. At first it's impossible, but once you get it under your belt, you're fine. So yeah, I think we all struggle, but I think that for people who have little self-control, this is a good diet for, because it is so accommodating. You know, it is so accommodating. As long as you are willing to put in the work into finding out how to accommodate yourself, it is easy to do. So, yeah, I think keto is a great idea. I would put this one precaution out there. I highly suggest that you go to a doctor and get your levels checked. And I'm talking about your hormone levels. I'm talking about your, you know, make sure you don't have any deficiencies right out of the gate going in. Because when you shock your system in this way, anything that is deficient, that you are deficient in, for instance, I was deficient already in potassium. And then I went on keto. And what happened? Any potassium that I happened to have in my body was gone in a heartbeat. So I was in hell. And if you aren't aware of that in the beginning, you just make it harder on yourself than it has to be. And I recognize that in America, if you don't have good I recognize that in America, it's, you know, it's not worth it to go to the doctor, but just be aware of those things, you know. and really, really, you know, concentrate on what you're feeling and how your body is reacting. And know the dangers of having low electrolytes, and know the dangers of having too high of electrolytes. There's a balance. There's a balance. And you do have to be aware of that balance in order to stay healthy and in order to be successful on this diet. But other than that, honestly, it's pretty simple. It's a simple diet. Just do your research. Be aware. And then stick to it. Do it. Don't get yourself into ketosis and stay in ketosis for 1 week and then spend 5 days out of ketosis because you wanted to have a piece of chocolate cake. And then wonder why you only lost 5 pounds at the end of the month. So, yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, leave them below. I will look over them and see if I can't help you. I'm really new to this whole YouTube thing. If you look at my channel, you can see that there's only this there. I'm kind of just going off like a blueprint of what I've seen on YouTube. So, if there's anybody out there who wants to do this with me, that would be great, because I am kind of doing everything on my own right now. So it would be cool to have somebody to do this with. But, in any case, I hope you guys have a great day, and good luck on your keto journeys if you decide to partake on them or to embark on them. And, yeah. Bye-bye.